What's up guys, Blackwar 0 and welcome back to another video, and today we're back for the 24th episode of the Team Sunweb career mode as we start the Tour de France. In today's video, I guess. First 5 stages, exactly like we did with the Giro. We're gonna do 5 stages per 5 stages. So today we will have the inaugural stage in Brussels. Then the Team Time Trial in Brussels as well, Binche-Épernay, Reims-Nancy, and we'll finish with Saint-Dié-des-Vosges, Colmar, just before the first mountain stage of the Tour de France. But yeah, I'm gonna put you through the start list, at least the team we're going for. No actual leader as such. Our leader will be Wilke Kelderman. He'll be our GC leader, and we'll try and go for the stages with Michael Matthews. We're not going to bring Nicolas Roche, we're going to bring Zoran Carpenterson. There you go. Wilke Kelderman, Michael Matthews, Martin Tuesveld, Kees Bol, Max Kanter, Rob Power, Joris Nieuwenhuis, and Zoran Carpenterson. Low support up front. The one about low support in the mountain. But I'm hoping that Wilco, because he's going to reach his fitness peak quite soon, can hold on to a top 10 would be good. If I can bring top 10 green jersey, I'd be more than happy with my tour. But let's start this. Brussels, or Brussels. 191 kilometers to start the Tour de France. Let's go. And it's go for the Tour de France. 21 days in arguably the most beautiful country on earth. And despite having an actual GC leader, we will show the colors of the Team Sunweb across the hexagon, starting with Zoran Carpenterson and Joris Nieuwenhuis already at the start, at the front of the peloton, should I say. The first attacker of the Tour de France will be Loïc Chetou for Cofidis. He's going to be followed by Brian Nolo from Direct Energy, Taylor Finney for EF, Chris Buckmans for Vital Concept, and Simon Synock for CCC. I'm expecting more attacks, knowing that there's, I'm pretty sure these two climbs are cobbles, so if I want to send someone in the break, I need to send someone that can, actually climb, that can actually do cobbles. And except for Michael Matthews or Zoran Carpenterson, none of my riders are actually able to do so. So we won't send anyone today in the break. We're just going to wait in the peloton. Kelderman on +2, Kees Bol +3. Michael Matthews +2, obviously our leader, to try and get the first yellow jersey of the Tour de France. Yellow jersey that we might lose tomorrow. My team isn't exactly the best in time trial. We've got 3 good guys, and then that's it. Yeah, Kelderman is now at the front. We're going to ask everyone to drop down now and enjoy the first 180 kilometers of this tour, because there might be there could be some crashes that could happen in real life. Not too much on PCM though. But yeah, 5-man in the break. As I said earlier, Chetou, Nolo, Buckmans, Finney, and Synock. I can tell you right now that Taylor Finney will be the polka dot jersey at the end of today's stage. But hopefully I can be in yellow. Right, we're going to focus on the breakaway as they start the Kapelmuur, the first KOM this year. Chris Buckmans currently leading. Taylor Finney taking a relay. I don't know if this is an attack or just a simple relay. It would seem like it is. Yeah, it's an actual attack. Brian Nolo has been dropped. Chris Buckman's gone. Chetou, Synock are struggling to follow. Synock is the only one trying to compete with Taylor Finney. Taylor Finney gets 2 points at the summit of the Kapelmuur. And I told you I had to be good in cobbles. Buckmans is already a minute 30, nearly 2 minutes behind Finney. Thank God for him. He's they're going to slow down, but they very well might accelerate in the Bosberg, which comes in now 100 meters. Vincenzo Nibali crashed by Vincenzo Nibali. Is he going to go back up? Yeah, he's going back on his bike. But that's the first main crash of the Tour de France. Also, there's a group of 10 riders for some reason. Anyone mind, I don't know, pacing? We've dropped many guys right now. Wait, we've dropped a lot of guys. everyone's kind of bunched up, but I think I could make that work. Let's just see something. Let's try something. Let's try the pace. See if I can, like, I don't know, break some locks or anything. I feel like like some of the groups are going to try and pace to come back. That's for sure. That's where Zone comes in, because there's this bit, this spot that's cobbled. That's where I'm hoping that Soren can create some damage. Now everyone's gonna come back in. Yeah, it looks like everyone's coming in. Okay, well, we've paced for nothing, but at least we're showing the colors. We're out here. Alright, there's the first sprint of the Tour de France in a few meters now, a few kilometers, sorry. Matthews in the wheel of case, but we haven't stopped pacing ever since, like, the cobble sector. We've dropped, some guys have been dropped. I don't think I've seen any GC leaders being dropped. However, a guy called Peter Sagan is dropped. He's in A2, so I don't see him coming back in the main group, which is a very good deal for me, because that means, well, there's one opponent for the green jersey, and for the yellow jersey gone. We've sprinted though for this intermediate sprint. We're gonna get jumped on the line by Caleb Ewan, which is fine. I don't mind that. However, why is, oh yeah, this group has stopped pacing, obviously. Okay. Kisbol, mate, come back in. Max Canter, come back in. We're not going to chase anyone today. We're not chasing. If anything, we're like avoiding the chase. We're being chased. That's the thing. Alright, Kisbol back in this group with Michael Matthews. And is now Zoran Kraf Andersen pacing on the cobble sector of the Chaussée de Fleurus, to try and see if we can, like, drop a few names here and there. Wilke Kelderman appears to be, like, in a decent shape. I think that was the final cobble sector of the day, if I am correct. Yep. So I don't see anyone here being dropped. Should I stop pacing? I feel like I should stop pacing for some reason. Nah, I don't know. We're gonna pace like 75 with Max Canter and see what we do. There's been a crash late for the peloton, late in the peloton. No, far in the peloton, sorry, with Jasper Stuyven and Edvald Boasson again, two other names that won't win today. Max Canter is trying to, like, give water to the guys. Peter Sagan is now in the group A1, only a minute 20 behind the peloton, still being paced by Rob Power and Martijn Thuisveld. We're gonna have Joris Nieuwenhuis to help the cause. There's an attack from J. Robert Thompson. Why on earth would he attack now? That might be one of the dumbest moves I've seen. J. Robert Thompson, Jérôme Cousin, Francisco Ventoso have tried to attack. They've all been co-op. Max Canter is going to give water to his boys as soon as he can go past Taylor Finney, the last guy that used to be in the break. I'm going to guess Peter Sagan has attacked to try and rejoin this group. Yes, he has, with Damien Touzé. 35k left. And it looks like Peter Sagan might be out of contention for the win in Brussels today. We've entered the final 20 kilometers of the stage, but we've also entered the outskirts of Brussels, which means frame rate is gone, but it's okay. We're going to make our train. Wilke Kelderman in the wheel of Michael Matthews. It feels weird to finally have a sprinter. Kees Bol, Zoran Kraf Andersen. I can't count on Rob Power or Canter or Martijn Thuisveld, because energy is a factor that they've lost. But I can count on Joris Nieuwenhuis to try and bring me back up in the peloton. Currently paced very, very harshly and strongly by the Lotto Soudal formation. By the formation, or the Lotto Soudal team, sorry, should I say. Nieuwenhuis about to literally collapse on himself. 15k to go. Zoran Kraf Andersen takes the charge of the train. Okay, I need to remember that Wilco is my GC leader, not my actual sprinter. So I need Kraft to, like, pace for 10k now. Okay. There's been a crash. Adam Yates, Rafa Maika, Omar Freile, and Enes Canter. No, Enes Canter, Oliver Nazen. What am I on about? Yates and Maika are both back on the bike, but I'm guessing this will be, yeah, this is going to be a gap. Ackerman, Schachman have dropped to go and help Rafa Maika. That is big. So Peter Sagan is dropped, Ackerman is dropped, Rafa Maika is dropped. Probably one of the worst possible stages for Bora. As we're now in the final 6 kilometers. I don't know if the Bora team will come back. To be honest, it's not one of my issues right now. Arnaud Demar in second position of the peloton already. It might be a bit too early. Might be a bit early for Arnaud Demar. What's also early is the fact that Graf Anderson has no energy anymore. So he's going to have to like get dropped. Caseball with Matthews and Kelderman in the wheel. Who's in my wheel? That's Caleb Ewan. Caleb Ewan in the wheel of Wilco Kelderman. Actually, no, Caleb Ewan is going to lead the train. There goes Christophe on the left for Fernando Gaviria. Sprinting very early. Very, very early. Michael Matthews starts his efforts now. Wilco Kelderman won't be able to like fight for the dub today. Can Matthews get it? It's going to be Matthews or Arnaud Demar on the line. The win for Michael Matthews to take the first yellow jersey of the 2019 Tour de France ahead of Arnaud Demar, John Degenkolb, Fernando Gaviria, Andre Greipel, Caleb Ewan, Wilco Kelderman, Sonny Colbrelli, Alvaro Hodge, Brian Cocard and Caseball. Love that. Look at him. Michael Matthews in yellow ahead of Arnaud Demar and John Degenkolb. Like, what else could you ask for the team Sunweb? We said we wanted to win stages. I think we've done more than that today. We came, we saw, we conquered. Michael Matthews gets the first win of this Tour de France with Wilco Kelderman bringing home 7th and Caseball 11th. Is there any gaps? 2:39 is the first gap with Adam Yates, Rafa Maika. So that's already 2 leaders for the GC gone. Well, gone. Dropped by 2 minutes. Then you've got the Peter Sagan group somewhere, 10 minutes down the road. Hugh Carthy as well, 10 minutes down the road. Dan Martinez, Giulio Ciccone, who's always good in this in the Tour de France. And 2 riders out of time in Tomasz Marzinski and Yuki Arashiro. Okay, very eventful first stage, but we have the win ahead of tomorrow's team time trial in Brussels. And the time trial is on the way. In Brussels, it's going to be a good occasion to take a look at all the start list. Sorry, all the the start list for the teams. We're going to start with the team Cofidis, who has left Brussels. We have Pierre-Luc Perichon, Kenneth Van Belsen, Loïc Chetou, Damien Touze, Luis Angel Mate, Stéphane Rossetto, Nasser Boigny, and Jesper Hansen. No GC leader. I'm surprised not to see like a Herrada or something, but they'll probably try and seek for the stages with Nasser Boigny as their leader. Next up, another French team, Arkea Samsic, with Benoît Jarier, Maxime Daniel, Robert Wagner, André Greipel, Maxime Bouet, Florian Vachon, De La Place, and Romain Hardy. No sign of Warren Barguil, which is rather surprising. Next up, yet another French team, Vital Concept, B&B Hotels, Lorenzo Manzin, Quentin Paché, Arthur Vichot, Chris Buckmans, who you saw in the breakaway yesterday, Jonas Van Genechten, Arnaud Courteil, Kevin Reza, and their leader, Brian Cocard. I swear to God, there's only French teams in this tour. Lilian Calmejean, Burgodeau, Niki Terpstra, Jérôme Cousin, Angelo Tulik, Brian Nolo, Thomas Bouda, and Anthony Turgis are the 8 riders that will fight for Direct Energy across 3 weeks in France. Oh, finally, a team that isn't French. Dimension Data, J. Robert Thompson, Stéphane Debod, Edval Boissenhagen, who crashed yesterday, Lars sitting back, Roman Kreuziger, after his 11th place on the Giro, comes on the Tour de France as well. Julien Vermeulen, Tom Jelte-Slagta, and Michael Valgren will represent the South African team. Next up, Bora Hansgrohe, who had their fair share of bad luck yesterday, with Pascal Ackermann, Marcus Burghardt, Peter Sagan, Rafa Maika, Sam Bennett, Rüdiger Selig, Patrick Conrad, and Maximilian Schachmann. This is an armada. That is one of the strongest teams I've seen in a while on PCM. And they're going to take the first time. By the way, they're going to take the first time at the first intermediates. Next up, EF with the polka dot jersey, Taylor Finney, Tanel Kangat, Hugh Carthy was dropped yesterday, Michael Woods, who might be their leader, I'm guessing, Alberto Bettiol, Daniel Maclay, Dan Martinez, and Simon Clark. Next up, CCC with Francisco Ventoso, Greg Van Avermaet, Guillaume van Kersbulk, Guys Van Heuk, Jonas Koch, Jakub Moreschko, Nathan Van Hooydonk, and Simon Seinok. Katusha with Reto Hollenstein, Marko Hala, Vyacheslav Kuznetsov, Ilnur Zakharin as the leader, Nils Politt, Ruben Guerrero, Matteo Fabro, and Dimitri Strakov. Jumbo-Visma with Lorenz De Plus, Tim Leza, Wout van Aert, Martin Vinans, Robert Racing, Steven Kruijwijk, Koen Boomen, and Amund Grandal Janssen. Movistar, one of the favorites for the team classification with Marc Soler, Richard Carapaz, Alejandro Valverde, Andrea Amador, Nelson Oliveira, Nairo Quintana, Winner Anacona, and Edouard Prades. This team is so good. Geez, Jumbo, 10 seconds on Bora, the first intermediate. Mitchelton with Callum Scottson, Lucas Hamilton, Christopher Juliansen, Matteo Trentin, Adam Yates, Simon Yates, Damien Howson, and Jack Haig. Who fell yesterday? Was Adam Yates? Yeah, Adam Yates who crashed yesterday, so the leadership will be for Simon. Trek Segafredo, Giulio Ciccone, John Degenkolb, Richie Paul, the main leader, with Gianluca Brambilla, Tom Schoens, Jasper Stuyven, Eduard Tuns, and Mads Pedersen. Next up is Lotto Sudal with Caleb Ewan, Lawrence Nazen, Adam Hansen, Roger Kluge, Yellow Wallace, Tim Wellens, Caleb and Jasper De Bust. Obviously, they've lost one of their guys in Tomasz Marzinski yesterday. FDJ with Marc Sarro, Benjamin Thomas, Valentin Madouas, Anthony Roux, Mathieu Ladanius, Thibaut Pinot, Arnaud Desmar, the green jersey, and Rudy Mollard. UAE Emirates with Simone Consoni, Jasper Philipsen, Tadej Pogacar, Dan Martin, Alexander Christophe, Fabio Aru, Jan Polanc, and Fernando Gaviria, white jersey? Oh, okay. Bahrain Merida with Novak, Dylan Tuns, Hermann Pensteiner, Heinrich Hausler, Vincenzo Nibali, Sonny Colbrelli, Ron Dennis, no sign of Yuki Arashiro, who got evicted out of the tour yesterday for being slow. Alexis Goujard, Pierre Latour, Benoît Cosnefroy, Oliver Nazen, Tony Galopin, Romain Bardet, Alexandre Geniez, and Alexis Vuillermoz will represent AG2R La Mondiale. For De Koninck, it will be Yves Lampard, Sénéchal, Alaphilippe, Asgreen, Alvaro Hudge, Philippe Gilbert, Richeze, and Bob Jungels. For Astana, Izagirre, Freile, Bilbao, Cornelsen, Lutsenko, Jan Hirt, there's too many names, Miguel Lopez, and Jakob Fuglsang. Ineos with Chris Froome, Webb Pools, Geraint Thomas, De La Cruz, Kwiatkowski, Moscon, Souza, Sivakov, and then finally the timing is absolutely on point. As the team Sunweb leaves the start of the start in Brussels, we're going to make the time trial things, I guess. So 20 seconds for Kraf Andersen, 13 for Tuesveld, 13 for Raw Power, 13 for Max Kanta, nothing for Nuvenus. Caseball will have a solid 16 for him. Wilke Kelderman 25, Michael Matthews 22. Decent. +5 for Michael Matthews and +5 for Kelderman. That's probably going to help me out a lot. Currently leading in Brussels. Has any team finished? Yes, it's Jumbo-Visma in 30-10 ahead of EF Education First. Ineos on an absolute mission, 15 seconds quicker than Jumbo-Visma, the second point as we cross the line in 8th place, 33 seconds. We've dropped out a lot during this phase of time trialing, which is why we're going to remove Tuesveld, Power, and Kanta from the train and have mainly Kelderman, Caseball, Kraf Andersen, and Michael Matthews pacing to try and perform well in the final 4 kilometers, as the team Jumbo-Visma is still leading for 1 little second over Trek Segafredo, but the team Ineos is already under the Flamme Rouge. It's currently David de la Cruz leading the way with Michal Kwiatkowski in the wheel, and it's first time 35 seconds quicker than everyone else for the team Ineos, as it's now only the team Sunweb to cross the line. Caseball giving all he has. 900 meters to go. Can we fight for at least like a top 5? That would be decent. Across the line, 7th, 44 seconds behind the team Ineos. We're just ahead of AG2R La Mondiale and just behind Movistar. David de la Cruz gets the win and the second stage of the Tour de France, which leads Gianni Moscon in first position of the classification ahead of Michal Kwiatkowski, Ivan Souza, Sivakov, Chris Froome. Michael Matthews finds himself in 11th with Wilco Kelderman now in 40th position. We did what we had to do. We did some damage limitation, and that's the main thing. We're on the way for the third stage of the Tour de France, and it's going to be an interesting stage because it's Binche-Épernay, a stage that could create quite a lot of gaps as the roads are narrow, and Kelderman Matthews, the duo, is on a +5 today, so we could be looking at a very, very eventful stage. Shall I play my cards right? Right, I may have forgotten about the intermediate sprint. Maybe. That may have happened. I don't know. Maybe or may not. We're entering the first few hills, starting with the Côte de Nogent, which isn't a KOM, but it's still a hill. So we're gonna have Michael Matthews in the wheel of Zoran Kraf Andersen. I just don't want them to like get blocked between each other. Zoran in the wheel of Rob Power, and that's going to be our train for the remainder of the race. The peloton has accelerated to try and come back on breakaway. 45k to go, 2 minutes. We should be, like, it shouldn't be too hard to come back. I'm now going to wait on Martijn Tuesveld to bring water. Nieuwenhuis, I would like him to, like, if I could have Nieuwenhuis in the train, that would have been, that would be quite ideal. But I don't know if he's going to be able to go back up, as Rob Power has now made his job and he's at the front of the peloton. You can see on the left hand side of the road the first few slopes of the very narrow path of the Côte de Auvilliers. We've made it through even Azen, who tried to block us, but we're smarter than that, we've avoided it. Florian Sénéchal, first one to accelerate in this hill with Yves Lampart and Boissenagen in the wheel. It's gonna be an actual like sprint now until the end. The aim is just to be well placed, to avoid getting dropped or getting blocked, which are two very difficult things to do, especially on this year's game. But we should have enough talent and strength to do so. Rob Power still at the front. Yves Lampard with a stellar job. Rondon is now pacing, but every one of these guys are dropping like flies. There's only 2 guys left in the main breakaway. That would be no, sorry, there's only 1 guy left. That's Nathan van Hooydonk for CCC. Ruben Guerrero and Maxime Boyer are just behind, and then it's the peloton led, as I just said, by Rob Power. Very impressive work right there from the rider of Sunweb. Surprisingly enough, no one's dropping, but I'm expecting people to drop. There we go. That's what I was expecting. The Fischer, yeah, Fischer. No, Fischer. I don't know. There's a crack in the peloton. There we go. 37 riders in this group. 20k to go. We've dropped 84 riders, including the yellow jersey. I mean, at this rate, everything's fine, but the issue is this team, like, EF is pacing. I would love EF not to pace. I would enjoy, like, having Ineos to pace, because Ineos is the yellow jersey team. But no, they're gonna come back, sadly enough, under the impulsion of Ruben Guerrero. 2 climbs left. The first one, La Côte de Mutiny, which Rob Power is going to start right now. 800 meters. Still, Nathan van Hooydonk still in the lead though, but for how long, that is the question. There's an attack on the left. That's Tom Jelte Slakta. Probably maybe for like the KOM points. I do not know. Soren Kraf Andersen though, still running strong at the front of the group. Whereas Alaphilippe is in the wheel of he's in the wheel of Slakta actually. Nathan van Hooydonk has got 5 points for the mountain classification, which would put him virtual. Well, actually no. Leader of the mountain classification. The yellow jersey got dropped once again. Same for Vincenzo Nibali, and this time there is a gap. This time there is a gap because no one is pacing behind. Yanni Moscon has been dropped with Pavel Sivakov. Nero Quintana as well is dropped in this group. Okay. 10k to go. The gap is just over 1 minute and 3 seconds. Vincenzo Nibali, if he was smart, should probably just wait for this group because he's just going to tire himself. Movistar is pacing when they have Valverde and Carapaz up front. That is the most Movistar thing they've ever done on PCM. Come on. If I could hold this gap, that would be great. Nibali has been co-op by the group led by Elnor Zakarin and Nelson Oliveira. Soren Krafft Andersen is struggling, but he's still there. The guy is still fully pacing. Just 6k. 6 kilometers is all I'm asking from my guys to try and well, create some havoc in this first tough stage of the Tour de France. There's an attack on the left. There is the first move I was waiting. That's Julian. No, it's Casper Asgreen actually. Okay, Asgreen and Tom Jelteslagter. Marco Matthews still pacing with Wilco Kelderman in the wheel. Okay, we're now going to switch. We're now going to switch. It's going to be Kelderman pacing with Michael Matthews in the wheel because there's a sprint to win and Kelderman isn't my best shout. There's going to be a right-hander soon, I think. Is there? I don't know. I've forgotten how this... Oh, no. Okay, there is. It's a hilly finish. I had forgotten about that. Just under a K to go. There goes Wilco Kelderman. Kruijswijk in the wheel. Lorenz De Plus is also here. You've got many riders, but Michael Matthews should be by far the fastest. Is he the strongest, though? That's the question. Can he hold on to the likes of Julien Lafilippe? No, he cannot. The win for Julien Lafilippe ahead of Michael Matthews, Michal Kwiatkowski, Geraint Thomas, Bob Jungels. Disappointing. We've lost on like a win for just nothing. Team Wellens is going to merge both groups. Is anyone going to do the same thing for the yellow jersey group? Yes, I don't think there's going to be any gaps in today's stage. He just had to be there, didn't he? Julien Lafilippe gets the win ahead of Michael Matthews, Michal Kwiatkowski, Geraint Thomas, Bob Jungels, Wilco Kelderman brings home 11th. Oh, there are some gaps. 27 on Team Wellens. 45 seconds on Richard Carapaz. I think that's the yellow jersey group, or what used to be the yellow jersey group. Zakarin losing 2 minutes, Pogacar 2:13. Okay. So there have been some gaps. The majority of the leaders are at the front, which is a good thing for them. I'm not seeing Thibaut Pinot though. I am not seeing Thibaut Pinot. Has he been dropped? He has been dropped. He's in the group at 45 seconds down the road. So GC wise, I mean, Michael Matthews is now 4th. Kwiatkowski, Froome, Geraint Thomas leading the way for Ineos. Something tells me that this is not going to change at all for well, these 3 guys will be in the top 10. I just feel it coming. But yeah, 4th and 10th as we now have 2 sprint stages, no, 1 sprint stage between Reims and Nancy. We've consolidated, we strengthened, there we go, our the green jersey, which is great. So now let's go to Reims for the 4th stage. Here we go for this 4th stage, sorry, of the Tour de France. Michael Matthews and Wilco Kelderman are on +5 for the 3rd day in a row. That is impressive. I'm hoping they can continue this form when Mountain arrives, but for some reason I highly doubt it. But yeah, 213k to go, as I said. Nothing is gonna happen in this stage. It's usually your boring Tour de France typical stage, even if there is a climb towards the end, which might prove to be interesting for some riders, I suppose. But for now, we're all good. Okay, there's been a crash in peloton, which I saw like Nibali, Alaphilippe. I also saw Simon Yates. And Simon Yates withdrew from the Tour de France on the 4th stage of the Tour. It's not going well for Mitchelton. They've lost Adam Yates. I mean, Adam Yates crashed in the 1st stage. He's now 4 minutes behind. And their leader, Simon Yates, has now withdrawn from the Tour. I don't think you can start the Tour this badly, considering Simon Yates was like only 25 seconds down the road after yesterday's stage. That is pure and utter bad luck for Mitchelton Scott. But they'll have to deal with that. The breakaway is 3 minutes in the lead. You have Jérôme Cousin for Total Direct Energy, Lorenzo Manzin for Vital Concept B&B Hotels, Lars Sittingback, sorry, for Dimension Data. Simon Synok once again in the break for CCC, with Taylor Finney once again in the break, trying to reclaim his polka dot jersey, sorry. And finally, Francisco Ventoso. CCC being extremely present in the breakaways right now. Mainly because they can't win anything else. I mean, the only one that could probably fight for something is Greg Van Avermaet. And I think his time has come. There's no cobbles anymore. So, yeah, It's going to be a shit tour for CCC, but an even worse one for Mitchelton following the withdrawal of Simon Yates. Okay, we've approached the Côte de Marron, the final climb of the day, the only real difficulty of today's stage, should I say. The gap is still a minute. Francisco Ventosa tried to attack, but Taylor Finney is very, very vigilant. You can see that he's fighting for more than like just the climb. He wants his jersey back, but the question is, can he hold on to the rhythm that's currently being put in the peloton? I don't think he will. I don't think he will. Yep, there we go. Taylor Finney is gone under the impulsion, under the impulsion, I think, of Rudy Mollard. No, the impulse. Yeah, the impulse of Rudy Mollard. I actually cannot speak today. Tim Wellens is going to try to get the points, which he will do. He's going to get 1 point for the mountain classification ahead of Yellow Wallace. And with that in mind, Nathan Van Hooydonk keeps his polka dot jersey one more day. I don't know how such a thing has happened, but Ladenius and Demar left the peloton just by pacing, which I find it like quite funny. And 10k to go. Demar Ladenius in the lead. Hopefully not for long. I don't even think Mathieu Ladenius is pacing right now. Well, actually, he might be. I don't know. But Tadej Pogacar is trying to bring back Gaviria in the main group. I would have liked to have Max Canter to my side. I might be able to pull him in the train. If I'm not being dumb. You're going to have Krafanderson in the will of Canter in the will of Rob Power. There you go. Sorry about the +2. We've entered Nancy. 5k to go. Rob Power pacing the peloton. Max Canter in the wheel. Soren Krafanderson, Michael Matthews, Wilco Kelderman is also here. We never leave the leader behind. Never leave a leader behind. Just 3k as Rob Power is going to give it all he's got. Max Canter is now started. And, I mean, I don't think we're going to win this because it's a pure flat sprint, which requires pure sprinting abilities, which Michael doesn't necessarily have. It's going to be third place for Michael Matthews today, win for Caleb Ewan, ahead of Gaviria, Michael Matthews, Sonny Colbrelli, John Degenkolb, Andre Greipel, Wilco Kellerman, Pascal Ackermann, Soren Krafanderson and Arnaud Demar. Third place for Michael Matthews, yet another podium for the leader of the team Sunweb on the stages. Kelderman 7th, Krafanderson 9th. I mean, I'm happy with third. It's hard to compete on a purely flat sprint when you've got like Gaviria and Ewan to be careful about, to care about. Sorry, but yeah, I'll happily take third. Drop like in the big names dropped. No one interesting, but mainly the withdrawal of Simon Yates is the one thing to keep in mind after today's stage. Next up, final stage of the episode between Saint-Dié-des-Vosges and Colmar. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, but it's also Kelderman and Matthews are now in +5. And I feel very sad about this. I might cry, but we'll go through it. I'm kidding. Michael Matthews and Kelderman at the front already, as they always do. Michael Matthews still wearing this beautiful green jersey that suits him more than it suits Peter Sagan. I don't know what I'm saying. We're going to send Rob Power in the break today. We're going to send Robert Power in the breakaway. He's having a bit of a weird path, or weird like part, because Magai has ended his fitness peak, but he's never been such in shape. So, I mean, just have fun, Rob. Go in the break, knowing that there's 14 points to take today. Yeah, 14 points. It would be good for him to take literally every point available to the taking, and maybe like one day fight for the mountain classification. You never know. There's some other attacks though. Quentin Paché, Maxime Bouet, Luis André Mate, Lilian Calmejean. Shit. I hate it when Calmejean attacks because he's so good. He's way too good. I actually hate him. Alright, 2.5k to go until the sprint in the peloton. I mean, I'm gonna fight for like, what, 3 points? Is it worth it? No, it's not. It's not worth it. We're not gonna fight. The breakaway, though, did fight between Lilian Calmejean and Tom Schoens for some reason. Wait, was that wait, did they fire or did they attack? I don't know if they went for the sprint or if they fully attacked. I feel like I have a feeling they might have fully attacked, which isn't good for me as we've started the Côte du Königsburg. Okay, I'm having to try and counter-attack them. Well, not counter-attack, but at least like rejoin with them. Oh, shut up, are they going to continue the attack? There's 4k to go until the summit, are you good? Oh, and I followed Tom Schoens and Tom Schoens is dead. I hate Lilian Calmejean so much on this game. I hate him with so much passion, you have no idea. Looks like Lilian Calmejean will get the points ahead of Luis Angel Mate. And then I'm guessing that I will fight for third place with Tom Schoens, Nathan van Hooydonk, or not even because Tom Schoens has attacked me. Côte des Trois Épis, second category climb. This time no one is in the break. Well, I mean, no, sorry, no one has tried to yeet themselves out of the break before the start of the climb, which might allow us for some points. We're still going to fight with Lilian Calmejean. He's the man I'm going to be very much worried about. Actually, he's the only man I'm worried about. I think Tom Schoens, Luis Mate, and Hermann Pensteiner aren't as big a threat as Lilian is. There goes the move I was waiting for. The move I was waiting for, the attack by Lilian Calmejean with 1.9k left on well, on this race. We're immediately jumping in the wheel. We're not messing about. Tom Schoens and Luis Angel Mate are doing the exact same thing. They're gonna try and attack now. The issue is I'm lacking red and yellow, but it looks like Rob Power will take 5 more points here, and is going to be tied, I think, with Calmejean now. I think. Yep, both are on 8. So the next guy who gets 1 point will be the provisional. Will be the new mountain leader of the Tour de France. Crash in the peloton. Miguel Lopez, Romain Bardet, Roman Kreuziger. That is a big crash. That is a very big crash. I'm pretty sure I see Nairo Quintana as well being dropped. Richard Carapaz is dropped as well. A lot of good names are being dropped right now, and this is all for the better for us. Meanwhile, Zoran still at the front, gonna wait for the comeback of Luis Angel Mate and Lilian Calmejean. But I just want 1 point. No, I want 1 point more than Lilian Calmejean. Calmejean has attacked. There's more than 2k on this climb. This guy is a machine if he pulls it off. If he pulls it off, he's a machine. If he doesn't, he's human. And it very well looks like the guy is human, as he can't follow the attack of Rob Power. Power going for the climb of the Côte des Cinq Châteaux. What happened? Is there anything happening in the peloton? Doesn't look like there's anything going on right there. Rob Power at this rate might go for the win. Actually, now that I think about it, I think Rob Power is on to get maybe the biggest win of his entire career. 8 kilometers. That's what Rob Power has to hold on. Miguel Lopez crashed again. Miguel Angel Lopez crashed once again. I think the peloton waited for like a lot of riders to come back. Bardet hasn't come back though. But Lopez fell once again. I think that's the end of the chances for Miguel Lopez on this Tour de France. 2 crashes in the same stage. Never good for you. Lilian Calmejean is coming back on Rob Power. Slowly but surely. Rafa Maika fell one again. My man was in the group A12. Jeez, okay. 48 seconds. I think Calmejean has given up. I am pretty certain that Lilian Calmejean has given up on the win today, and Rob Power is going to get the biggest win of his entire career in Colmar. Rob Power wins the 5th stage of the Tour de France. What an effort! What an effort by Rob Power, as we can't really wait too long because there is a sprint to win with Michael Matthews, Arnaud Demar. No, oh, Thibaut Pinot is in the wheel. Okay, so Thibaut Pinot is not going to overtake me. Thank you very much. That's going to be 5th place for Michael Matthews. Kelderman brings home 7th. And then there's the peloton with Ewan Alaphilippe. But the question is, who made, well, no, sorry, were there gaps, gaps, and on who? That's the main question that everyone is now asking. What a better way to wrap the episode than with a win of our fellow Australian. It's not Michael Matthews, it's Rob Power who gets his first win, I think, this season. Actually, the 24-year-old. There we go, first win this season for Rob Power. He was the best climber on the Dauphiné for 1 point ahead of Pierre Roland, and he shows his well, strength today by winning the stage and taking the polka dot jersey ahead of Lydian Calmejean by 1 little point. Don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this jersey on for the rest of the race, but we'll try our best. Michael Matthews is the first one in the peloton, ahead of Thibaut Pinot, Wilco Kelderman, Caleb Ewan. The question is, were there gaps, and if so, who got dropped? Bardet losing, okay, so 1:35, so nearly losing 2 minutes. Same for Miguel Angel Lopez. Nairo Quintana losing a lot of time. Aru, Marc Soler, Pavel Sivakov. I think that's the Micah group with with Pete Sagan and Ackermann. Hugh Carty, Tanel Kanga, Dan Martinez are losing time. Where's Micah? There he is. There's Micah. He's losing 6 minutes 30 today. Okay. Then the rest of my team is there. Anyone dropped? Withdrawal, sorry? Nope. Nasser Boni finishes last today, which means that GC-wise, Michal Kwiatkowski is going to retain the yellow jersey as we will face the Planche des Belles Filles tomorrow. 6 seconds ahead of Chris Froome, 9 seconds ahead of Geraint Thomas. The first non-Ineos rider is Michael Matthews in 4th position, who will lose his place tomorrow. But Wilco Kelderman might try to make a slight comeback, at least in the top 5. I feel like a top 5 is clearly doable. Shall we not be dumb? Because there are some gaps already on, the guys are better than me. I just need to be smart. Points-wise, Michael Matthews is 134 points. Caleb has 99, so we're 35 points clear of our fellow Australian. Mountain-wise, it's Rob Power. The best young rider is Yanni Moscon, 1 second ahead of Benoît Cosnefroy. The best team is the Team Sunweb, 5 seconds ahead of Ineos. But this is where we're going to wrap the first episode of the Tour de France, 24th episode of the Team Sunweb career mode. I really hoped that you enjoyed it. If you did, then please leave a like down below. That would really, really mean a lot. And also make sure that you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't done so already. I will see you in the very near future for the 25th episode of the career mode. I've been Blackwar. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you guys, and goodbye.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with a bat. Snapping with a phone and dab. Boss up, I'm out with a duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster.